What is up, everybody? Back at it again with these late night commentaries, back in front of this camera, back in front of this computer, and back on this chair. I hope you guys had a good weekend, and today we did chesticle. I started off with a stretch. I used a band all the way back to get that rotator cuff movement, get my shoulder activated so I don't get injured. I actually am warming up before my exercises, any exercise that I do, because there is no reason for you to go straight in and be cold when you first start doing a exercise. And then just grab a little dumbbell, 90-degree angle on your elbow, come straight up, 90 degrees, right back down. Just shoulder, height, and then just bring it up as far as you can. Sometimes I do this laying down, but for this time I actually did it standing up. Try to do it nice, slow, and steady. And then after that, we actually did bench press. I did a plate in a 25, 10 times. It was 8 to 10, I don't really recall how many times I actually did it. Make sure you have a good form. As you can tell there, kind of cranked them out, not too big of a deal. I kind of actually hit a plateau or like a stall in my bench strength. I can do this very easily. I used to be able to do 2 plates fairly easy 10 times, and like now I actually kind of struggle a little bit here and there. Sometimes, some days are better than others, but I have struggled and I have lost a little bit of strength. That doesn't really worry me at the moment, not a big deal. I think for this two plates I did 5 or 6, I don't really recall. It's not a major deal. I don't really care at the moment. I just care that I have proper form and proper technique when doing it. As long as I do that, I don't really care about anything else. Make sure that, like for example, a slight little downside of what I sometimes do towards the end of my sets, because I do struggle, I kind of tend to lift my butt off the mat a little bit, which is not a terrible thing to do, but I wouldn't recommend to do it because you do lose, I guess, the tightness in your body. And then after that, we did cable butterflies. For this one, make sure you try to keep it as wide as you can, and then when you come in, make sure you squeeze the living crap out of your chest. We started with lower and then bringing it up, and then we switched from high and then bringing it to the center. And for each, one of them is going to hit your lower chest, and then the other one's going to hit a little bit more of the middle and then the upper chest. And I like doing it both ways because it does hit, like I just said, different parts of the chesticle. And then after that, we did a little bit of a tricep movement too. And this is, we actually did a superset between the cable butterflies and a hamstring or a quad leg extension. Something simple, nothing major. And then we did 2 exercises for your triceps. And then he lifted up his shirt on one side, and I thought he had it lifted up on the other side, but he didn't. Now, I want to get to a point. Just because you don't see his muscle in that shirt does not mean, obviously, that they're not there. Like, a lot of people I know like to wear like super tight shirts or like super loose shirts, and like that's awesome because, for example, like I just said, just because you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not there. So there's some people who are strong that you can't really see it, and there's some people who are super jacked and like ripped, and they're not very strong. But that's another topic for another video. Back to the chest commentary, because I don't want to get too much off topic. I want to get straight to the point on these videos, because in March there's something big that I have coming up, and it's going to be a prep for like an own person. I'll talk about it later. I don't want to get too deep into detail. And then these 2 machines, as you can tell there, I was just pumping it for my upper chest. And the reason why I do like pumps is because I get a good activation on my upper chest and my chest in general. And the reason why I do the pumps is because there's more of a burn sensation, and like I said just now, there's more activation in the muscle. And then we just flip-flop 10 reps. I actually did for the pumps 25 and then did 3 sets of that, but for the most part keep it like 10 to 15 on the pumps we didn't go that heavy on these just because we did go a little heavy on the flat bench, and we did get tired doing cable butterflies. But as long as you do these exercises in one way or another, it's not going to affect on, I mean, it is going to be a little bit different and a little different perspective if you do more reps rather than more weight. But we ended up doing higher reps on those two machines. And then declined bench press is also one of my favorite exercises because it does hit that bottom portion of your chest. And I did 2 plates there again. I was only able to do 6 of them there. Not too surprised. I feel like the declined is a little bit easier, and since I was tired, I felt like if I did this in the beginning, I could have done a little bit more, which is not a big deal. Like, I like working out with heavy weight at the end because I am tired, I am exhausted. And right now I'm tired and exhausted too because it is currently 1 in the effing morning. But that being said, as long as you are working out and you are doing something to make yourself better, to gain definition or to gain strength or to gain mass, whatever it is, as long as you are doing something, I will say this and I will say it again, it's going to sound like I am a broken record, but you are ahead of everyone else who is not at the gym or who is just sitting at home doing nothing. Always stay positive. Positive thoughts are also a major key when you do go work out, because it does take a effect on you if you go into the gym with a positive attitude rather than a negative, I don't want to do this attitude. So always remain positive when you do these workouts or when you do any workouts whatsoever. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day today. Today is a Tuesday for this upload, and it's a new week for me, it's a new week for these uploads, so I hope you guys are enjoying your day as of now. And as always, this is Gymsker. Make sure you share this video with your friends and family to share the knowledge. And as always, remember, make your muscles cry, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
He's a bitch.